Hello guys, this is Vaish from Vaish IAS and we are going to continue the history NCRT series. Class 7th we are doing and chapter 1 and 2 is already done and uploaded. Please watch it, it has a lot of details. The last chapter had Rashtrakutas and Cholas and I have given a lot of pictures, lot of definitions which are all important for this UPSC Prelims 2018 which is going to happen in June. Okay, now it's the month of January, we have to speed up our preparation. I am trying my best to upload all the videos with good quality and also for practice MCQs I have prepared the MCQs also. You can purchase it at our Facebook link facebook.com/IAS. Make sure like history we don't miss even one question, okay, because history according to me most of them like history because of the story kind of format of it, and it's much more easier to score marks also because a lot of questions are there. In 2017 I think 14 questions came from history, okay, including everything ancient, medieval, modern, everything, okay. And modern I have completed already in my spectrum series and it has got good feedback. People are liking it, people are buying the MCQs also. Similarly medieval and ancient people have not started buying because maybe they don't know the quality, but you can see the quality of my lectures and the content I am taking from NCRT only, okay. So everything will be good quality questions. I'll show you some sample questions also today. You can buy them. And today it's the most important chapter of this textbook, that is the Delhi Sultanate, okay. All the chronology I'll show you, all the important kings, kingdoms, then Alauddin Khilji which is in news now. All these things we'll be discussing in detail today, so let's begin. So the Delhi Sultans, okay. So till now we were looking about the South India, the Kaveri Delta, the Raichur Dove and all those things, okay, in the previous chapters, the Rashtrakutas or the Cholas maybe. Now we'll see something related to Delhi. Till now we have not seen even a single dynasty which had a capital city of Delhi, okay. Delhi is the national capital today, but now the kingdoms, even in North India which we discussed, the Magadha, Mauryan and all, they had Rajgriha, they had Vaishali, they had Patliputra, they were the capitals. But why not Delhi? Because that time Delhi was not even a city, okay, it was not even found properly or not even, it was not developed, because Delhi can be called like a city of cities, okay, where many kings came and set up their own cities, and small, this is the map actually, small cities they set up, and then finally the Delhi is formed, like the Siri is there, Jahanpana is there, Delhi Kana is there, then this Qutub Minar will come there by different dynasties, Tughlaqabad is there, later Shah Jahanabad will come. So many small cities together is called what is the present day Delhi, okay. So this is actually the map of 13th 14th century like it's mentioned here, okay. And now we'll see who started making Delhi as a capital first. That is the Tomara Rajputs. Okay, so this is the first kingdom in Delhi Sultanate. You have to remember, it is not being stressed in every textbook, every standard textbook. So you have to know this. Okay, Tomara Rajput. Whatever is neglected like this is what UPSC picks up. That is why. Okay. So they were actually defeated in the middle of the 12th century by the Chauhans. Chauhans we have already seen, Prithviraj III, Prithviraj Chauhan, who was defeated by Muhammad Ghori in the Battle of Terrain 2 in 1192 AD. Okay, I have told you that in the previous chapter. Please watch that. Chauhans were initially called as the Chahmanas, okay, and they were belonging to Ajmer. So Tomara Rajputs, who were defeated in the middle of this thing by middle of 12th century by Chauhans. So two names we learnt. Okay, then coins were minted. Coins minted here were called Delhi Wal, okay, and had a wide circulation. So Delhi Wal is important. Now the transformation of Delhi into a capital that controlled vast areas of the subcontinent started with the foundation of Delhi Sultanate in the beginning of the 13th century. So Delhi becomes important from the 13th century, okay. Till then there is no concept of a Delhi capital city, okay. So now I'll show you a very important table. Before that, again, these regions are important, okay. Delhi Kana, Siri and Jahanpana. In the map also you would have seen it already, okay. Now a very important table which you have to have it in your mind always. I'll try to reduce the size so that you can see everything together. So if you see here, this already last time I showed you that trick kind of thing. One more time I'll write it here. 1 second. Okay, so here the order: slave dynasty, Khilji dynasty, Khilji or sometimes Khalji, okay, Tughlaq, Sayyid, Lodi, SKTSL. This one you have to remember at every point of your study. SKTSL, okay. Before slave dynasty, that is slave dynasty is also called as the early Turkish rulers, okay. Why they are called slave dynasty, I'll tell you. Before that there is the Rajput dynasties, okay, that is the which is not the Muslims. There we have Tomaras and Chauhans, okay. So before SKTSL we have the Tomaras, and like this keywords only you need to remember, okay. Tomaras and Chauhans, okay. And Tomara is the one who made the Delhi as capital first. Then slave we'll see, Qutbuddin Aibak, Razia Sultan and all will come. Khilji, that Alauddin Khilji story. Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq is there. Sayyid dynasty, not very popular. Then Lodi is there, after which they'll be defeated and Mughals will come. Okay, and in Mughals you have to learn the story from Babur. So I think that will not be there in this chapter, maybe next chapter. So this chapter is only about these 5 kingdoms. Okay, that too not in very much details, but in very what is it, understandable format, which is very helpful for you. Okay, so now let's continue. So these names, I hope you have seen. This name is important. Anangapala. Okay, so seeing that, don't think he's from Pala dynasty of the Bengali. He's the Tomara ruler, Tomara Rajput. Then Chauhan, Prithviraj Chauhan, most important ruler names. Okay, see the timeline also. So 1206, this guy Qutbuddin Aibak, who was actually a slave of Muhammad Ghori. You can tell Muhammad Ghori, if you remember, he came and attacked India, right? So Muhammad Ghori, he used to appointed governors here. Okay, and all these people were like kind of slaves only. So that one of that governor is Qutbuddin Aibak. He himself establishes his own kingdom, and that is how it becomes the slave dynasty. Okay, so there Qutbuddin Aibak is there. Then Iltutmish, this name you have to remember, ILTU, Iltutmish, or however do you pronounce it. Okay, Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Razia Sultana, a woman queen. There is a debate about that. I'll show you that in this chapter. Like a woman should not become a king or something, king or queen or something. Then Ghiyasuddin Balban. Okay, all these are important. Balban, last chapter also I told you, Amir Khusro wrote a lot of things about him, good things, and he had a vast empire. Okay, so these are the names of Sultanate of the slave dynasty. Then Khalji comes. Okay, Jalaluddin and Alauddin. So Alauddin was not the founder. If you find a statement like Alauddin Khalji founded the Khalji dynasty, it is false. Okay, so if you see, but he is the most important one of Khalji dynasty. And then in Tughlaq dynasty, we'll see Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, and later Alauddin Khilji versus Muhammad bin Tughlaq's reform policies are done in detail in this chapter, and that was a mains question 2-3 years back. It was directly picked up from here. Okay, the entire table of differences given. If you have read the NCERT, you would have scored great marks there. Okay, then Sayyid dynasty, Khizr Khan, just remember that name. Lodi dynasty, there is Behlol Lodi who founded it. Then after that there is Sikandar Lodi, then there is Ibrahim Lodi, and then Mughal Babur will come and defeat Ibrahim Lodi and form the Mughal dynasty. So that is how Delhi dynasty proceeded. Now we will see important details about few of these rulers. That is what we are going to see in this chapter. Pictures you see, this is Iltutmish tomb. This is Alai Darwaza, which is related to Alauddin Khilji. Okay, remember Alai Darwaza related to Alauddin Khilji, and Buland Darwaza is related to Akbar. Okay, match the following question can come. I think in our MCQ PDF also we have a question for that. And this is, I think, the Firoz Shah Tughlaq's tomb. Okay, so very popular people had big tombs. Okay, it's not like only the Taj Mahal you should know as tombs. There are many other tombs. Humayun tomb is also there. Now this picture is actually about how manuscripts were formed. Okay, first they'll prepare the paper, then they will write it in that paper. Then with gold they'll melt, and with that gold they will highlight the text. Okay, like now I am using this highlighter and highlighting things. They used to use gold, okay, for highlighting, and then after that they'll bind it. So this is the process of manuscripting. Okay, so this 4 stages is given here in the left box. The same thing what I told you. Another 2 important thing, this Tariq and Tawarik. Okay, what is it? It's actually the valuable piece of histories which is written in Persian. Okay, and this gives a detailed information about administration of Delhi Sultanate. So we have the Tariq and Tawarik, which are giving information about medieval history. Remember those names. Now I'll tell you a very interesting thing. Okay, Circle of Justice. Okay, Fakir-e Mudabbir, he wrote about this circle of justice. That is something which is going encircled. Like a king cannot survive without soldiers, and soldiers cannot live without salary. Now salaries comes from the revenue collected from peasants, and peasants can pay revenue only when they are prosperous and happy. So this happens when the king promotes justice and honest governance. So round and round it comes back to the king itself. Okay, king wants soldiers, soldiers need salary, salary will come from revenue, revenue will come from peasants, and peasants will be giving revenue only if they are happy under the king. So that means it is going back to the starting point itself, to the king. So that is Circle of Justice by Fakir-e Mudabbir. Okay, this applies even today in any political system. The ruling or the rulers, if they are good, the citizens will be happy, and in turn the rulers will be again able to administer better. Okay, so this Circle of Justice applies to all generations. Fakir-e Mudabbir. Please remember this name, and you can quote this also in various examples. Okay. And these authors of this Tawarik or Tariq was very learned people, like administrator, poet, courtiers and all. Okay, more information about Tawarik is there, I'll tell you here. Okay, this is very important. They can form a 3 statement directly from here. Okay, the authors of Tawarik, they lived in cities, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in villages. Okay, so when you see this, maybe in UPSC exam hall, you will think like, maybe why can't they live in villages and all. So don't think like that. Okay, they mostly lived in cities only. Okay, so that's the absolute statement will be true. Then they often wrote their histories for sultans in the hope of the rewards. Okay, this also we will feel like it's a negative statement, but it is true. Okay, only for rewards they wrote it. And these authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order. Okay, they told the ruler should form an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinctions. Okay, and another thing, their ideas were not shared by everybody, meaning whatever they told, many did not agree to it. Okay, so you should know these 3 points about Tawarik, who wrote in Persian language, that they wrote in hope of getting rewards. They lived in the cities and they wanted social order to be established by the king based on birthright and gender distinction. So birthright and gender distinction is given here. Privileges claimed on account of birth. For example, people believe that nobles inherited their rights to govern because they were born in certain families. So that Brahmanism kind of thing. Okay, nobles are by birth. Okay. So that is about birthright. Then gender distinction, social and biological differences between men and women. Okay, usually these differences are used to argue that men are superior to women. Okay, so here he has told these authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinction. Okay, so this was actually supported. These, although it is bad things, it is supported by these Tawariks. Okay, that is nobles are by birth and men is superior to women. Okay, so you should remember all these facts about Tawarik and their writings. Now another important thing is, you know, we saw Qutbuddin Aibak, then after that Iltutmish is there. After Iltutmish, his daughter Razia is there. Okay, in 1236 AD. So a chronicler, Minaji Siraj, in the last chapter also I told you about him. He actually told that she definitely is more able and qualified, okay, Razia Sultan, but he was not comfortable at having queen as a ruler. Okay, so again this gender distinction. Okay, he agrees to it like she's more able, but he don't want a queen to be or a woman to be a ruler. Okay, and she was actually removed in 1240 itself, so only maybe 4 years she ruled. Okay, now again more details about what exactly he thought about Razia. Okay, Minaji Siraj about Razia. So the queen's rule went against the ideal social order created by God. So again those stupidity you can tell which most of the religions follow. Okay, I'm not naming any one religion, most religions do this, like they think like woman is a part of men or woman is not equal to men, it's always behind the men. Okay, that is why most of the laws, the triple talaq issue or whatever is there, everything in all religions it's there. Okay, but here because it's the Delhi Sultanate, it isn't specific to the Muslim law. Okay, so social order created by God, according to them, men is superior to women, and it is totally wrong and totally not acceptable also. But these people told the same thing again in the register of God's creation. These stupidity they even tell now. Okay, most of the clergy and all, they'll be coming onto the mic and they'll be telling, okay, in God's court you will be punished, you will be getting this thing after death, you will not get heaven after death, and all those stupidity. They don't value the life which they have right now. They don't know how to live the life, and they are talking about life after death. Okay, so that and all is some foolishness which exists in every religion. Okay, don't think I'm telling only about one religion. Now the context is about Islam, that's all. Now inscription and coins, Razia mentioned that she was the daughter of Iltutmish. This was in contrast to the queen Rudrama Devi. Rudrama Devi, I told you 2 videos before also. Like Rudrama Devi, that Anushka's movie is there. Please watch it. South Indian movie, very good movie. You will understand the story. So Kakatiya dynasty ruler. Okay, there actually again this thing was there. Only son can become the ruler, not the daughter. And when she was born, actually they did not want the kingdom to fall in hands of some other evil relatives or something. So they announced like it is a son which is born. Okay, and they raised that Rudrama Devi in private, like in privacy, and made her learn all the martial arts or all the whatever sword fighting, all those things, horse riding, all these things. And then she was in public also. When she'll come dressed like a man only. Okay, with that kind of clothing and all those things. So that is shown in that movie, and she did not reveal like she is a lady. So that is the story of Rudrama Devi. So both stories, Razia or Rudrama Devi, it's the problem of women not being accepted as ruler. Okay, that comparison is very good. Okay, in different timelines also it is. So that is about Kakatiya dynasty. It's actually not too much different timelines. So here you see 1262, 1289. Okay, almost the same. There it was 1236 to 1240. So see Andhra Pradesh in South India. Okay, and another queen, Didda, okay, ruled in Kashmir. Another example. Okay, Didda derives from Didi. Okay, in elder sister. Today also in our politics we have Didi, Amma, and all those things, keywords being used. Okay, so this is about 3 examples: Razia, Rudrama Devi, and Didda. Now we will proceed. Garrison town and hinterland. This is 2 important definitions you need to know. Okay, what is hinterland and what is garrison town? Let me zoom it a little bit. Okay, so here if you see, hinterland, the lands adjacent to a city or a port that supplies it with goods and services. That means it is outside a city, and that is from where the goods and supplies will come into the city. Okay, hinterland. So obviously kings will go and attack there, right, to get the supplies. That is one thing. Garrison town is a fortified settlement with soldiers. Okay, that is a garrison town. Now we'll see here details. In the early 13th century, the control of the Delhi Sultans rarely went beyond heavily fortified towns. Okay, earlier it was not going beyond it. That is occupied by garrisons. Now, Sultans seldom controlled, that is rarely controlled the hinterland of cities, and were therefore dependent upon trade, tribute, or plunder for supplies. Okay, so obviously supplies are there in the hinterland. So from garrison town, they have to go to that place and get the supplies. Now, controlling garrison towns in distant Bengal and Sindh from Delhi was extremely difficult. Rebellion, war, even bad weather could snap fragile communication routes. Delhi's authority was also challenged by Mongol invasions. So something new, like they were not allowed to rule in peace, you can tell, because Mongol invasions were going on happening, okay, at that time. So consolidation occurred during the reign of Ghiyazuddin Balban, okay, and further under Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad Tughlaq. So one is slave dynasty, one is Khilji dynasty, one is Tughlaq dynasty. So these are the most important rulers of the three dynasties, okay, Ghiyazuddin Balban, Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad Tughlaq. Now, there is something called internal frontier and external frontier. They are telling the first set of campaign along with the internal frontier of the Sultanate aimed at consolidating the hinterland. So getting that hinterland is the first kind of warfare which happened. Okay. So during this campaign, forests were cleared in the Ganga Yamuna Doab and hunter-gatherers and pastoralists expelled from their habitat. These lands were given to peasants and agriculture was encouraged. Okay, so forest was cleared, agriculture was encouraged. New fortress, garrison towns and towns were established to protect trade and routes to promote regional trade. So again, that same thing. Internal frontier means going and getting the hinterlands. Now there is something called external frontier. Okay, here military expedition into the southern India started during the reign of this. Please remember this name, Alauddin Khilji. That is the time when South India thing started. In last chapter, if you remember, the Balban, they showed that big maps and all with Amir Khusro telling like he extended his kingdom up to the south and all. So that is just exaggeration by Amir Khusro about Balban. Okay, maybe for some reason, personal reasons, that is different. But here we have this evidence like or text like Alauddin Khilji is the one who started the South Indian expedition. So that is external frontier. Internal frontier is the hinterland there itself near the Ganga Doab. Okay, Ganga Yamuna Doab. And culminated by Muhammad Tughlaq. That is, it ended by the reign of Muhammad Tughlaq. Tughlaq actually, you know, even in the Chak De movie, if you have seen, they called Shah Rukh Khan as Tughlaq. Okay, because Tughlaq, it's referring to this king only. Because Tughlaq's policies are often considered as failed policies. Okay, whenever something fails, we keep on telling, right, it's the Tughlaq regime, it's the Tughlaq policy. That is because Tughlaq was trying to do a lot of things, but everything failed. Okay, we'll see many examples in this chapter itself. So that is the story of why Tughlaq is always related to different failure, okay, or anyone harsh or anyone rude. That is always called as Tughlaq in present day context I'm telling. Okay, now Sultanate armies captured elephants, horses and slaves and carried away precious metals. So it was a total plunder, total trade, you can tell. By the end of Muhammad Tughlaq's reign, 150 years after somewhat humble beginnings, the armies of the Delhi Sultanate had marched across a large part of the subcontinent. So this map, you can see that is enough. So from Delhi in different years where and all they went. Okay, 1299, 1303, 1301, 1305. Even that Padmavati issue which is going on, that and all, there and all, so these maps are shown in the news and all, in social media and all. Okay, like Alauddin Khilji went and attacked here, attacked there and all. Okay, around this timeline only where they went and this Padmavati issue happened. Okay, Kakatiyas you can see here, Hoysalas is another kingdom, Yadavas is another kingdom, Pandyas is there. Just familiarize with these maps and locations. Okay, so anyone who suddenly asks you where is Yadavas, you should immediately tell here. Okay, Yadavas was here, Rashtrakutas was here, Kakatiyas here, Chola, Pandya, Chera. Location should be crystal clear by this time. That is why these basic NCRTs we are doing. Okay, else we can even do that black and white simple textbooks like similar to Spectrum. There will be a lot of textbook in the market for ancient history, but that will not give you this understanding. Okay, now this again Delhi city where the Qutub Minar is shown. Two things are shown. One is Kawat al-Islam Mosque. Okay, and one minaret. Minaret is the Qutub Minar they are referring to. So these were actually built by, here it will be given, the mosque was enlarged by Iltutmish and Khilji, Alauddin Khilji, and the Minar, that is Qutub Minar, was built by Qutbuddin Aibak and Iltutmish. That is why the name is like that. Okay, Qutub Minar was started by Qutbuddin Aibak, and it was actually dedicated to some Sufi saint or something. I am not able to remember the name. There is another name which is similar to this, some Qutub, some Chishti, some person is there. Okay, so try to recall that. We will see Sufism anyway later. Okay, so first city built by the Delhi Sultan. So there Delhi, this name, okay, Delhi Kana or the old Delhi which you tell now, okay, old city. So that place is the place where Qutub Minar and this mosque is there. Again, Masjid, lot of explanation they have given. You know, it is the most holy place for them, facing Mecca, which is in the western side of the world, and this is called Qibla. Okay, during prayer, Muslims stand facing Mecca. In India, this is to the west. This is called the Qibla. Okay, so it's just facing the uh, Mecca. Now here, Jahanpana, again, main mosque of Jahanpana, that is sanctuary of the world. This again by in the regime of Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, mosque name is here Begumpuri Mosque. Okay, main mosque of this place, Jahanpana place, is Begumpuri Mosque in the regime of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Not very important. UPSC don't ask mosque related questions or temple related questions, but still. So again, I don't think here much information is there. See the pictures anyway, just to see the architecture. We'll be needing it in art and culture portions. Then administration and consolidation under the Khaljis and Tughlaq. Okay, here Iltutmish favored their special slaves. Okay, slaves were purchased for military service because they were slaves and they were in turn again buying slaves. Okay, and they were called Bandagan. Okay, Bandagan in Persian means slave. Okay, carefully trained to man some of the most important political offices in the kingdom. Since they were totally dependent upon their master, the Sultan could trust and rely upon them. Okay, so they did not have their identity of their own. They were totally dependent upon their masters. That is why they had slaves. So it's like a slave of slave. Okay, they themselves were slaves in the past, and now they are slaves of their own. Okay, now that is not important. Now Khaljis and Tughlaqs continue to use Bandagan, that is slaves, and also raised people of humble birth who were often their clients to high political position. Client anyway, you know, someone who is under the protection of another, a dependent or hanger-on. Okay, they were appointed as generals and governors. However, they also introduced an element of political instability. Slaves and clients were loyal to their masters and patrons. Okay, patron we have seen last time also. What is patron? So, but not to their heirs. New sultans had their own servants. As a result, the accession of a new monarch often saw conflict between the old and the new nobility. Okay, so as a result of the accession of new monarch, when the king changes, there will be conflict with the nobility also. The patronage of these humble people by the Delhi Sultan also shocked many elites, and the authors of Persian Tawarikh criticized the Delhi Sultans for appointing the low and base-born to high offices. So again, these appointments are all done by sultans were criticized by these people, Tawarikh, whoever wrote Tawarikh. We have seen many information about Tawarikh. Don't forget that. Okay, that they live in cities and they expected rewards and all those things. Then again, here certain name of people, it's not important. Very what to say here, maybe Zainuddin Barani, 14th century chronicler, because we have seen this in the previous chapter also, reported that their appointments are a sign of Sultan's loss of political judgment and incapacity to rule. So again, criticizing something. So Ziauddin Barani, just remember, he is a 14th century chronicler. Okay, you should know these names of Amir Khusro, Ziauddin Barani, then Minaji Siraj we saw, who told about Razia, and then later we will again see Ibn Battuta also. Okay, so there are names which you should know. Now here some important definitions are there. Khalji and Tughlaq. Okay, they had these again military commanders who were given land. Okay, they were called the Iqta. Okay, this land was called the Iqta, and whoever is holding that land is called the Iqtadar or Mukti. Okay, so this Iqtadar and Mukti term is the person who controls the land, and then the responsibility is to lead military campaigns and maintain law and order. Okay, so this is what Iqtadar or Mukti did. Okay, please don't forget this. I think in our PDF also we have. I don't know whether I have to open. Here, what was the role of Mukti in Delhi Sultanate? Okay, so they'll give something like this: Chief Judicial Officer, revenue collection, maintain manuscripts, lead military campaign. So this D is the right option. So this is how our MCQs will be there. Okay, so here again one question: Delhi Sultanate ruled the expedition of South India began for the first time under Alauddin Khilji. Okay, so try to get these MCQs from us. Contact our Facebook page. Okay, now we'll continue. So Muktis, Iqtadar, and next important term will be comparison of these things. Okay, Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad Tughlaq, we'll see. There's a detailed table given in, I think, next page. Accountants were appointed by state to check the amount of revenue. So there is no particular term given. Samanta, we have been seeing multiple times. The people who supplied military around Ananda Arjun Khilji. Okay, paying taxes. Okay, here this term, Kharaj. I was searching for this only. So there are a lot of taxes being imposed, and Kharaj is actually an agriculture tax, you can tell. Okay, cultivation tax, which is amounting to about 50% of the peasant produce. This also try to make an Excel sheet and note down, because later we'll see a lot of different tax under the Marathas. In Spectrum I already taught you, okay, many taxes. Okay, Sardesh Mukhi was there, Chowth was there, and Akbar's regime when we learn there will be even more number of taxes. So we have to make a table of that and then just revise it the day before prelims. That also. Kharaj, please make a note. It is a cultivation tax under this Delhi Sultanate. Okay, especially Alauddin Khilji you can tell. Okay, Alauddin Khilji, Kharaj. Okay, Kharaj is cultivation tax or agriculture tax. Okay, even the Gangetic Plain, Alauddin Khilji, chieftains. Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta, a 14th century traveler again. Around this time only others were also there. Abnir Khusro. He's from Morocco. So this mass following question has been asked once, like from which place he has come. So it is from Morocco, Africa. Okay, you should know where is Morocco. It's important for mapping also, geography part. And here again he's telling about the chieftains. They live in forest which serve them ramparts, inside which their cattle and their crops are there. So telling good things only. These people who came, they wrote good things only. In the ancient history, we saw Chinese pilgrims coming for Buddhist statues and sculptures and inscriptions, and now these Arabian people are coming. Okay, so that is the different types of people who entered India and wrote about India, and they wrote all good things only. And the Mongols under Genghis Khan. Okay, now we already read like Mongols used to keep on invading. So Mongols invaded a place in Iran actually. Okay, Iran, Transoxiana, that is a place in East Iran, and it was also, they will be affecting Delhi also, right? They will be coming towards Delhi also. So this increased during the days of Alauddin Khilji and the early years of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, so they faced these problems. Now both of them, so they had their own policy. So that is what the most important part of this chapter also, because it is a mains question. It has been asked already. It can be again asked. Okay, so we will compare it. Delhi was attacked twice. Okay, in this reign, Alauddin Khilji, and he raised his last standing army. So it's kind of a defensive move. Here, if you see, the Sultanate was attacked in the early years of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's reign. The Mongol army was defeated. Muhammad Tughlaq was confident about the strength of his army and his resources to plan an attack on Transoxiana. He therefore raised a last standing army. So one side, if you see, it is a defensive step. Other side, if you see, it is a more attacking kind of step. Okay, he want to go and capture Transoxiana. Okay, in Iran. And then next difference is Alauddin constructed a new garrison town named Siri. In the map I showed you, Siri, remember, okay, Siri, Delhi, Kana and Jahanpana we saw. Siri was constructed by Alauddin. That's also UPSC possible question. Now, here rather than constructing a new garrison town, the oldest of the 4 cities of Delhi was emptied of its residents and the soldiers garrisoned there. Okay, so they made all the people go away, and then forts were set up. The residents of the old city were sent to a new capital city of Daulatabad in the south. So this is one question which UPSC asked, like which ruler shifted the capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. So it is Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and this is one of the failed policy. Okay, people were not happy with this. Okay, because they were vacated from the place and they were asked to leave. So we saw one difference about the army, another difference about the city. Okay, garrison town. Now next we'll see the soldiers had to be fed. This was done through the produce collected as a tax from land between the Ganga and Yamuna, and tax was fixed at 50%. We saw that Kharaj tax, right? So he did the taxing and he got the revenue. Now here what he did, the produce from the same area was collected as tax to feed the army. Okay, that means here taxing was done in a separate land and it was given. Here wherever that army was there it was collected. But to meet the expense of maintaining such a large number of soldiers, the Sultan levied additional taxes. This coincided with the famine in the area. Okay, so when famine happened, this is the second failed policy. Okay, when famine happened, but he was not caring about that thing. Instead, he was busy getting the revenue from the people and then giving it to this army salary. Okay, so you should understand here they are taxing from the Ganga Yamuna region, where obviously it will be good fertile land and good agriculture will be there. So 50% they can give. Okay, and from there only they give to the entire army. But here wherever the army is stationed, depending on that area they are collecting the taxes. So every place won't have that much good agriculture, right? So they cannot give taxes, and they are charging additional tax also. So along with the famine, it became even more worse, and that is how it is different from the Alauddin Khilji policy. So hope you are able to understand everything. Okay, in detailed way I am trying to explain. Okay, army, city, and now agriculture taxes. Now the fourth one, the soldiers had to be paid again about salary. So he salaries in cash rather than iktas. Okay, he gave cash, not land. The soldiers would buy their supplies from merchants in Delhi, and it was thus feared that merchants would raise their prices. To stop this, Alauddin controlled the price of goods in Delhi. Prices were carefully surveyed by officers, and merchants who did not sell at the prescribed rate were punished. So kind of checking inflation, you can tell. Economically you tell, it is checking inflation. Okay, so cash was given, so they buy from the market. the merchants would do some what is illegal thing by selling at high prices. So he controlled the prices, and also punishments were there. So that is how he's controlling inflation. Now Muhammad bin Tughlaq, what he did? He also paid the salary in cash only. So that is a statement which you have to know. Both of them paid in cash only. But instead of controlling prices, he used a token currency. Now, okay, he like demonetization. After that, we introduced note, right? Like that, he introduced a new currency, okay, which is like the present day paper currency, but made of cheap material. That is, they used gold coins, silver coins, but instead of that, he made some copper or bronze kind of coin, and he circulated it, okay. And people did not believe it, because these things can be counterfeited easily. It's mentioned here, okay. Anyone can issue copper coins, okay. It's very cheap to do that, and people were also smart. They saved their gold and silver coins and paid all their taxes to the state with a token currency. So they made this cheap local currency and then paid all the taxes with that. Gold and silver they saved with them. So again, a financial failure. So three failures we have seen, okay. Unhappy about the capital city, taxing regime, taxing problem, famine was there, then token currency, okay. This is why Tughlaq policies are bad policies. Now next one, remember all these points, okay. Try to write down and practice it and read it 5-6 times, and before the prelims read it one more time. So Alauddin's administrative measures were quite successful, and chronicles praised their reign for its cheap prices and efficient supply of goods in the market. He successfully withstood the threat of Mongolian invasion. So he was a very able administrator, Alauddin Khilji. Okay, now in Padmavati issue, he is being shown as a villain or something, but he is a very good administrator. Okay, so that is one thing. Now Muhammad Tughlaq's administrative measures were a failure. His campaign into Kashmir was a disaster. So he even tried to go attack Kashmir, okay, and it was a failure. He then gave up his plans to invade Trans-Bosnia in Iran and disbanded his large army. Meanwhile, his administrative measures created complications. The shifting of people to Daulatabad was resented. The raising of taxes and famine in the Ganga-Yamuna belt led to a widespread rebellion. And finally, the token currency had to be recalled. So this point is actually a summary of the above 4 points, okay. This will give you a detailed understanding of or recalling everything what you learned now. So hope it helped you. Try to spread this to other people also, others also let them learn, okay. Share this channel. Now I think the closing notes of this chapter will be Delhi Sultanate planned a campaign to capture Mughal territory, and again about Tughlaq's failure only, because I told, right, his was defensive measure and the other one was like kind of attacking measure. It's just a summary again. 15th and 16th century. So timeline is moving ahead, and now Tughlaq's will be over, Sayyid will come, Lodi will come, even Babur will come by 1526. Then stable stage, there is nothing much important here. Here one personality, Sher Shah Sur, okay, Sher Shah Sur 1540 to 1545. Now you should know, like, he is actually a temporary kind of kingdom which he had, the Sur dynasty, which was in between the Mughal dynasty. That means Babur ruled from 1526 to 1530, then 1530 to 1540 if you see Humayun ruled, then he came and attacked Humayun, and then 15 years he will rule. Meanwhile, Humayun fled to, I think, Iran, Persia, somewhere near his friend, and then they will come back strong with another army. Then 55, he'll come back, and 55 to 56, 1 year he'll rule. Okay, that time only he will regain the Mughal Empire. So Mughal Empire had a big break of, you can tell, 15 years, or maybe more than that. Because 55 only they recaptured. So about actually it's 55. This is printing mistake. Here it should be 55. Okay, 1540 to 1555. So 55 he'll come back and he will get it back. Okay, so Sher Shah Suri captured Delhi and established his own kingdom, that is the Sur dynasty, like I told, for only 15 years. So yes, that is the printing mistake only. Here it is 1555, and introduced an administration, and actually Alauddin Khilji's policies, from there some things were borrowed, okay, and later Akbar will borrow from Sher Shah's administration. So you should see, like, Alauddin Khilji's that successful policy which we saw was adopted by Sher Shah Suri, and from Sher Shah Suri it was adopted by Akbar. Okay, so you should know this order also. Akbar's reign is 1556 to 1605. You see here Humayun died in 56, and 1556 to 65, 1605 Akbar became the ruler. And you should know this thing also, Humayun actually see only 1 year, and that was also an accidental death. He fell down from some new buildings, library building or something which he was constructing, and from there he fell down from the staircase and he died. Okay, after these many battles and all, he did not die, and just by slipping off his feet or something he died. So that is some kind of a story. And here elsewhere what was happening? Elsewhere we know this is actually related to that French Revolution and all, which you will learn later, 1789, you know, the French Revolution. But before that, there was a problem in the society. The first reason, social cause for French Revolution, which you learn in world history, is that the three orders or the three sections of society. Okay, the one who prayed, the clergy, then those who fought are the army and the nobility and all, and the peasants, those who tilled the land, who are the majority. And that is why if you know that all French Revolution story, I'll take the lecture one day. That is the first cause which you learn in any textbook is this society division only. Okay, so this was happening parallelly during this time when Indian Mughal rule and all these things were happening. Okay, now just 4-5 questions we'll see. Which ruler first established Hisara capital at Delhi? Okay, it was that Tomara. Okay, Anganapala Tomara. Anagapala Anganapala, something like that. Okay, see that name again. So what was the language of administration of the Delhi Sultanate? We saw that the Tariq and Tawarik were written in Persian. Okay, in whose reign did Sultanate reach its farthest extent? So this is again debatable. Maybe Alauddin Khilji you can tell, or in previous chapter we saw like it's Balban. Okay, UPSC is not going to ask it anyway. Anyway, Akbar and all had bigger regimes again anyway. And Ibn Battuta came from Morocco, okay, Africa. Here these are again questions. According to Circle of Justice, try to remember that thing. Okay, from king we started and reached the peasants, and again from peasants back to the king. Then internal thing was that hinterland thing, and external thing was the going to the south. Okay, started by Alauddin Khilji. What were the steps taken to ensure that muktis? What is muktis? Muktis are the people or the iqtidar who control the land and whose duty was to lead military alliances, and also one more thing was there, to maintain law and order. Okay, what do you think they have want to defy the order of Sultan? They may have wanted to defy the order of Sultan. Like obviously they will become more and more powerful and all, and that is that usual thing which we learned, the Samantas concept. Okay, what was the impact of the Mongol invasions on the Delhi Sultanate? So that you have to tell that difference between Alauddin Khilji and Balban, what all happened, whether they withstood it or withstood it, or what happened. Okay, and these are terms: Iqta, Tariq, garrison, Mongols. Gender, we have seen something, birthright and gender. Then courage, okay, the cultivation tax. So hope you have clear understanding of all these terms, all these questions. This is the best way I could explain to you from NCERT. So please give your feedback. I'll come up with the next chapter soon. Till then, enjoy your learning. Thank you and have a nice day.